All right, lie out.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, your Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, and a special welcome to his lovely old squeeze, the lovely Camilla. Welcome, one and all, to the magical world of Pantoland at the Merry Harriers. Yes, the festive season may be over for the rest of the world, but not for us here in Cowbeech, oh no. The village where everyone is special, everyone is always so cheery. Cowbeech, where all the girls are pretty, well, most of them, and all the men are strong. So sit back in your seats and prepare to be transported back in time to the merriest place in the universe, Cowbeech, as it was in 1939, and meet the jolly folk of the Merry Harriers. I went there once myself, you know. Met a chap called Duncan. I don't think he was very merry, though. World War II in Cowbeech, yeah. Bring it on! Yes!
Hey, Tom.
Evening, Tom. You're in early tonight.
My old dad used to say to me, when you're up to your knees in water, it's time to stop digging. So, when I both bodies full, I reckon I'd earn a pint. First today.
Yeah, but if I know you, boy, it won't be the last. Anyway, the ale's running down, but we got enough for now. They even tell me we're going to get some more in the spring.
Better hope spring's not late this year then. What's the news on the war?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't had the wireless on since lunchtime. I tuned in to hear what Lord Hee-Haw had to say from the dark side.
I thought the name was Lord Haw.
Right, well, I will call him what I like. You can call him what you like, and I'll call him what I like. I call him Lord Hee-Haw because I think he might just be a bit of an ass. Anyway, you see what you think. Warm up the wireless.
Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. This is the news from Germany in English. In northern France and Belgium, the German armed services continue to force the British and their allies back towards the coast. The German High Command expects the destruction or surrender of the British expeditionary forces within the week. In the beer cellars of Britain, the English are quaking in their boots.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, that don't sound too great, do it?
Nah, that would be propaganda trying to make us feel like surrendering. I'm not going to listen to what they say, and I'm certainly not going to do no quaking in my wellies.
Oh, yes, you are.
Look, I'm going to join the local defence volunteers.
You in uniform?
I went to see the captain yesterday to enrol.
So you're in the LDV now, are you?
No. When I got there, the captain was trying on his camouflage uniform, so he wasn't anywhere to be seen. I tried to enjoy it. But for now, how's about another pint? Let's hear what the BBC has to say.
Okay, Tom, warm up the wireless again.
Good evening. Here is the 7 o'clock news, and this is Wilfred Pickles reading it. For the past 4 days, all available shipping has been engaged in the evacuation of Allied forces in Dunkirk, France. All vessels of any size that could make the cross-channel trip have been used, manned by courageous volunteers. By 4 o'clock today, 330,000 British and Allied soldiers have been returned to the safety of the home ports, and the operation is complete. Mr. Churchill has addressed Parliament, saying that the battle for France is over, and the battle of Britain is about to begin.
Talking about ours, see if the captain. Evening, Captain, sir. We were just talking about you.
Very nice words, hopefully.
What would it be, sir?
Not today, it's official business. I have heard that the Merry Harriers was the very place to find some young, dependable chap to volunteer for the LDV. But I think I've been misinformed.
He's behind you.
Permission's got a poster to recruit.
Be my guest, sir.
Right, to the left a bit. Left, left, and my left. Right, left, right, left, right. Now, up.
Oh, they don't like it up, Captain.
That's splendid.
Meanwhile, in Rose Waite's village shop, Mrs. Milliband is after a bit of stuffing.
Oh!
I'll spare you the details.
Morning, Rose.
Morning, Millie.
I'm after a really good stuffing. None of your funny remarks.
Funny remarks? I don't know what you mean. Anyway, how did you get hold of a chicken? I thought there was supposed to be strict rationing.
Well, there's been no foul play on my part, I can assure you. I've got a recipe. Mock goose from the wireless. I thought I'd surprise my old man. I need some parsnips. Have you got any?
Yes, they're not brilliant.
That'll do very nicely. You?
Grown, you know.
You? Well, perhaps you could be thinking of something.
Like the next line.
I'm very fond of a bit of stuffing, aren't you?
I am. Works. You better give me the recipe. My Charlie don't even recognise my cooking no more. Just going to take the weight off my feet.
Don't recognise his food. Has he lost his spectacles, or are you saving on the electric and serving it in the dark?
Oh, I don't know, Rose. This ruddy rationing and the shortages is making it very hard to carry out some parts of my wifely duties.
Well, perhaps you should be trying a wee bit harder with some of your other wifely duties.
Well, I mean, if he's not eating properly, I doubt he'd have the strength. I mean, the strength to join the LDV volunteer Rose.
Oh, what does LDV stand for then?
Well, look
Duck.
And vanish!
That's them. Get the wireless on, Rose.
Righty
We hear what that Eeyore has to say. I reckon he's probably got some Frankfurter sausage stuffing recipe for you.
Let's find out.
Stuffing, there you go.
She hasn't paid for it.
Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. This is the news in English from Germany. German parachutists are now preparing to be dropped in the south of England for sabotage missions.
Ooh.
Their rigorous training will ensure that they blend in with the local populace without suspicion. Meanwhile, futile attempts to form a home defence force are failing due to a lack of properly trained volunteers.
Oh, no.
Left, right, man. Come on, don't fall. It's the war on, don't you know? Okay, stand a minute, ease, Corporal.
And you heard the captain, stand and eat, 4 days, flop, ain't whatever.
So that
We
was
got to walk that far again.
very good for a first effort, route marching, but I think next time we'll manage a whole mile, not just from shore to the Merry Harriers.
Fair enough.
They said I must give this to whoever's in charge.
Yes, miss, thank you, that's me. Right, what have we got here? Oh dear. Listen very carefully, men. This is a very important communique from HQ. Apparently there was a German parachutist come down near Cowbeech last night, and they want us to do some training in stalking.
Stalking? Permission to speak, sir.
Yes, that was it.
I had a bit of training in that old stalking earlier on. And it was all to get rid of you, Steve.
Yes, very good, very good. But we need to do the training with a whole platoon. Supposed to be a volunteer.
Well, I suppose I'm on there. Well, I have to stick a bayonet up anyone.
No, nothing like that. I'll tell you what, we take this and this stool, you sit down there, put this on blindfold on to stimulate the darkness. Just pretend you're a German parachutist having a nice little nap.
There
There we go, stools there. Right, the rest of you men, over here. The idea of the game is you sneak up on him without being seen or heard, and he starts, he'll turn around and shoot you dead. And off you go.
He's behind you!
Sorry, did I drop off?
You did say you're going to have a nap, didn't I?
You stupid boy. Now we'll have to do it all again. Right, now this time, put a bit of effort into it.
Stuff it.
No, come on. Look, I'll just have to show you how it's done myself. Somebody else take over here.
I can't really get me on it.
Right, you sit there. Same as before, but don't fall asleep. Right. Thank you. I'll show you how it's done. Now, watch and learn. Watch and learn.
He's behind you.
Yes. I think we've got the hang of that now. March the men off, Corporal.
Right. You're on the captain. All right. Left, right, left. Off we go.
Here's the 5 o'clock news from the BBC, and this is Wilfred Pickles reading. The south and southeast of England have endured heavy air raids throughout the day, but sturdy men from all walks of life are flocking to join the local defence volunteers. Early reports speak of high levels of discipline and training. Hitler won't be dicing with these crack troops. The British Ministry of Information is advising the women of Britain about the danger of injury from fragments of German bombs. They're suggesting that they should get their milliners to fashion hats from thin tin plate. That is the end of the news. We're now returning to a variety show coming from Angier's Sweets, somewhere in the south of England. Certainly not in Hesman Sue. I wasn't supposed to say that, was I?
And now a treat for all you lads and lasses out there in Radio Land listening to Workers' Playtime. It's the lovely Dolly Blickstone, our force's favourite, singing Lily Marlena.
Underneath the lantern by the barrack gate, darling, I remember the way you used to wait. 'Tis there that you whispered tenderly that you loved me, you'd always be my lily of the land, light my only Marlene. Time would come for our goal, time for us to part. Darling, I caress you and press you to my heart. And beneath that far-off lantern light, I'd hold you tight. We'd kiss. My lily of Salem, light my one lily darling. Waters came for sailing somewhere on his land. Oh, confined to barracks was more than I could bear. I knew you were waiting in the street. I heard your feet, but could not meet. My lily of Salem, light my only darling.
Hello, ladies. Did you hear that Workers' Playtime from Angier's? With the BBC. It with all those famous people. It was as if Dolly Blickstone was right here in the room with me. Anyway, that explains why I've had no sugar this week. Must have all gone to Angus. Well, it's good for morale, I suppose. But you can't stick a toffee in your tea.
No. Well, I heard young Wilfred Pickles on the wireless the other day. He was saying we should get our milliners to fashion us some tin hats. Well, I think, why don't we get Curtis and Shaw to fashion us some tin hats out of these lovely biscuit tins? Look at this one. Very patriotic.
She's not paid for that one either.
Well, I can see it now. Here's the BBC with country wartime fashion from Cowbeech. And here's Millie wearing a lovely little number from Huntley and Palmer's. And well, Dolly, she looks proper fetching in her biscuit tin. Could just imagine one of you in one of those, Ida. You look lovely if you're wearing it with the gas mask.
Here, get off my biscuit tin. Unhygienic.
Quite right. Well, not very far either. I don't think we should be joking. I saw Mary Carter, hairdressers, this morning, and she said yesterday she was shot at by a German fighter plane cycling home to lunch. Probably the one they LDV are looking for. I heard he parachuted out.
Poor Mary. Is she all right?
Well, I don't know whether all right's the word. She's terribly, terribly upset.
Well, I reckon anyone would be upset if they'd been shot at.
I mean, what happened was she saw the plane, she heard the bullets on Cowbeech Hill. Cycled faster and faster, turned down Hammer Lane, going like the clappers, straight down to Waterworks Cottage, head first, oh, into the ditch.
Did she hurt herself?
A little graze on her knee, buckled the front wheel. No. But she's terribly upset.
Well, as I said before, I reckon she would be upset if she'd been shot at.
Yeah, no, well, no lucky escape for her. Because what happened was, it wasn't so much the falling off, it was little Georgie Maskell came over and helped her up. And that was very kind of him, but what upset her was, she went home, he went back to school, she went home, he went off and said to everyone at school he'd seen her knickers.
Well, that's not so bad. You know what young boys are like.
No, Rose, you're not understanding, no. What really upset her was that what with the rain and all that, you know, she hadn't been able to get them dry. She'd actually set off without them.
My! If Mick Georgie had seen that, what an eyeful. It could have put him back for the rest of his life.
Absolutely. Ida, you've been quiet. That's not like you.
Bloody troller.
I had trouble getting my washing done, so Mummy might bite me home.
No.
Oh, we know whether the parishioners gave the vicar a rabbit.
Very
That's
nice.
nice.
Well, certainly, but it'll be 2 weeks' rations, I'm afraid. There we are. There's your margarine. Do you know what? It reminds me of me dad in the First World War. Always had to have his rabbit pie. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Bang, bang, bang. Here's the longest gun. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't let the fall, that is fun, fun, fun. He'll get bored without his rabbit pie. So run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run.
Let's go.
Right then, time to get those doors opened. Don't want any of these local ruffians kicking them in, do we?
Oh, evening, Rob.
Evening, boys. Oh, dear. What's it to be?
Well, I'm ready for a pint, please, Rob.
Same for me, I'm parched.
You go, boys. What brings you all the way out to Cowbeech?
Oh, cheers, Rob.
I thought your billet was in Earthmonsters.
Well, what it is, we got reports. There's a German airman being shot down in Cowbeech.
No, I don't think you'll find any of them round here. Oh, no, you will not. There are no Germans in this pub.
We got reports from near Bourbon Street, had a look round the White Horse, but found nothing. Local said he'd been seen at the 3 Cups.
So Mark's down the old 3 Cups and had a look round there. Landlord knew nothing about it.
Well, he doesn't know anything about anything, does he?
Finished our drinks and marched down the old doom and gloom.
Oh my God, it's going from bad to worse.
I beg, Tara. I beg to differ. How very dare you?
The rush ain't really seen anything either, so we finished our drinks and marched down here.
Oh, well, it sounds like you've really done the rounds tonight then, doesn't it?
Yep. And we didn't have to buy a drink all day.
Well, I can tell you one thing. You're going to have plenty of time here for another pint, because there ain't no German airmen around here.
Oh, yes there are.
Oh, no, there are not.
Oh, yes there are.
And who asked you anyway?
You did.
Well, boys, what's going to be the next thing on your busy agenda then? Are you going to march on to the Brewers, or are you going to march back to the Woolpack?
Neither phoned in HQ and reported in, so they're on their way to come and collect us, but I reckon we got time for one more before we go.
I should think you have.
Yeah, well, like I said, I really don't think there's any German airmen within a mile of here.
No, I don't think so either.
Excellent. Cheeky drink.
Oh, look. Is that a penny on the floor down there? Oh, yeah. Well, I must have been thirsty. Bloody hell, cheers. Can I have another one, please, Rob?
I should think so. That one didn't touch the sides, did it?
Cheers, Rob. Oh, dear.
Let these people in anyway.
Well, I definitely didn't drink that one.
Oh, yes, you did.
You had my pint.
No, of course I haven't. I've got my own pint.
Well, someone's had it. You had my pint. One of you's had my pint. Who's had my pint?
He did.
Who had it? You had my pint. Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. Here is the German news in English. The Luftwaffe continues to attack the southeast of England in preparation for invasion. The glorious German army is only 20 miles away, and soon you could come under protection of the Third Reich.
Oh no, we won't.
There will be no resistance possible, and then there will be no more cricket, or cucumber sandwiches, roast beef or fish and chips. That is not our style.
Here's the 8 o'clock news from the BBC, and this is Wilfred Pickles reading it. In Parliament today, Mr. Churchill addressed the whole House on the subject of the pending German invasion. Here are his very words.
What General Dragon has called the Battle of France is over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization. Upon it depends our own British life and the long continuity of our institutions and our empire. Therefore, brace ourselves to our duties. So bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its Commonwealth last for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour.
And with those stirring words from Mr. Churchill, that is the end of the news for this evening.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Churchill. Thank you. Yes, off you go. Meanwhile, back in Cowbeech, those saucy lad girls, Jean, Jan, and Jen, are heading for an evening of fun at the Merry Harriers with jolly Rob Reed, the landlord. Yes, that's Rob Reed. The party, Rob Reed.
You do that for?
Blimey, it's quiet in here tonight.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, your Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, and a special welcome to his lovely old squeeze, the lovely Camilla. Welcome, one and all, to the magical world of Pantoland at the Merry Harriers. Yes, the festive season may be over for the rest of the world, but not for us here in Cowbeech, oh no. The village where everyone is special, everyone is always so cheery. Cowbeech, where all the girls are pretty, well, most of them, and all the men are strong. So sit back in your seats and prepare to be transported back in time to the merriest place in the universe, Cowbeech, as it was in 1939, and meet the jolly folk of the Merry Harriers. I went there once myself, you know. Met a chap called Duncan. I don't think he was very merry, though. World War II in Cowbeech, yeah. Bring it on! Yes!
Hey, Tom.
Evening, Tom. You're in early tonight.
My old dad used to say to me, when you're up to your knees in water, it's time to stop digging. So, when our both bodies full, I reckon I'd earn a pint. First today.
Yeah, but if I know you, boy, it won't be the last. Anyway, the ale's running down, but we got enough for now. They even tell me we're going to get some more in the spring.
Better hope spring's not late this year then. What's the news on the war?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't had the wireless on since lunchtime. I tuned in to hear what Lord Hee-Haw had to say from the dark side.
I thought the name was Lord Haw.
Right, well, I will call him what I like. You can call him what you like, and I'll call him what I like. I call him Lord Hee-Haw because I think he might just be a bit of an ass. Anyway, you see what you think. Warm up the wireless.
Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. This is the news from Germany in English. In northern France and Belgium, the German armed services continue to force the British and their allies back towards the coast. The German High Command expects the destruction or surrender of the British expeditionary forces within the week. In the beer kellers of Britain, the English are quaking in their boots.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, that don't sound too great, do it?
Nah, that would be propaganda trying to make us feel like surrendering. I'm not going to listen to what they say, and I'm certainly not going to do no quaking in my wellies.
Oh, yes, sure.
Look, I'm going to join the local defence volunteers.
You in uniform?
I went to see the captain yesterday to enrol.
So you're in the LDV now, are you?
No. When I got there, the captain was trying on his camouflage uniform, so he wasn't anywhere to be seen. I tried to enjoy it, but for now, how's about another pint? Let's hear what the BBC has to say.
Okay, Tom, warm up the wireless again.
Good evening. Here is the 7 o'clock news, and this is Wilfred Pickles reading it. For the past 4 days, all available shipping has been engaged in the evacuation of Allied forces in Dunkirk, France. All vessels of any size that could make the cross-channel trip have been used, manned by courageous volunteers. By 4 o'clock today, 330,000 British and Allied soldiers have been returned to the safety of the home ports, and the operation is complete. Mr. Churchill has addressed Parliament, saying that the Battle for France is over, and the Battle of Britain is about to begin.
Talking about arses, here's the captain. Evening, Captain, sir. We were just talking about you.
Very nice words, hopefully.
What will it be, sir?
Not today, it's official business. I have heard that the Mary Harrows was the very place to find some young, dependable chap to volunteer for the LDV. But I think I've been misinformed.
He's behind you.
Who's just got a poster to recruit?
Be my guest, sir.
Right, to the left a bit. Left, left, and my left. Right, left, right, left, right. Now, up.
Oh, they don't like it up, Captain.
That's splendid.
Meanwhile, in Rose Waite's village shop, Mrs. Milliband is after a bit of stuffing.
Oh.
I'll spare you the details.
Morning, Rose.
Morning, Millie.
I'm after a really good stuffing. None of your funny remarks.
Funny remarks? I don't know what you mean. Anyway, how did you get hold of a chicken? I thought there was supposed to be strict rationing.
Well, there's been no foul play on my part, I can assure you. I've got a recipe. Mock goose from the wireless. I thought I'd surprise my old man. I need some parsnips. Have you got any?
Yes, they're not brilliant.
That'll do very nicely. You?
Grown, you know.
You? Well, perhaps you could be thinking of something. Like the next line. I'm very fond of a bit of stuffing, aren't you?
I am. Works. You better give me the recipe. My Charlie don't even recognise my cooking no more. Just going to take the weight off my feet.
Don't recognise his food. Has he lost his spectacles, or are you saving on the electric and serving it in the dark?
I don't know, Rose. This bloody rationing and the shortages is making it very hard to carry out some parts of my wifely duties.
Well, perhaps you should be trying a wee bit harder with some of your other wifely duties.
Well, I mean, if he's not eating properly, I doubt he'd have the strength. I mean, the strength to join the LDV volunteer post.
Oh, what does LDV stand for then?
Well, look,
duck,
and vanish. That's them. Get the wireless on, Rose.
Righty-ho.
I hear what that Eeyore has to say. I reckon he's probably got some Frankfurt sausage stuffing recipe for you.
Let's find out.
Stuffing, there you go.
She hasn't paid for it.
Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. This is the news in English from Germany. German parachutists are now preparing to be dropped in the south of England for sabotage missions.
Ooh.
Their rigorous training will ensure that they blend in with the local populace without suspicion. Meanwhile, futile attempts to form a home defence force are failing due to a lack of properly trained volunteers.
Oh, no.
Left, right, man. Come on, don't fall. It's a war on, don't you know? Come on. Okay, stand a minute, ease, Corporal.
Stand there, you heard the captain. Stand and eat, full damn slop, ain't whatever.
So
We got to walk that far again.
Very good for a first effort, group marching, but I think next time we manage a whole mile, not just from Shorts to the Merry Harriers.
Fair enough.
They said I must give this to whoever's in charge.
Yes, miss, thank you, that's me. Right, what have we got here? Oh dear. Listen very carefully, men. This is a very important communique from HQ. Apparently there was a German parachutist come down near Cowbeech last night, and they want us to do some training in stalking.
Stalking? Permission to speak, sir?
Yes, what is it?
Well, I had a bit of training in that old stalking earlier on. And it was all, get around, I used to
Very good, very good. But we need to do the training with a platoon. It's supposed to be a volunteer.
Well, I suppose I'm on there. Well, I'd have to stick a bayonet up anyone.
No, nothing like that. I'll tell you what, we'll take this and this stool, you sit down there, put this on blindfold on to stimulate the darkness. Just pretend you're a German parachutist having a nice little nap. There we go, stool's there. Right, the rest of you men, over here. The idea of the game is to sneak up on him without being seen or heard, and he'll turn around and shoot you dead. Off you go.
He's behind you! Sorry, did I drop off?
You did say you're going to have a nap, didn't I?
You stupid boy. Now we have to do it all again. Right, now this time, put a bit of effort into it.
Stuffy.
No, come on. Look, I just have to show you how it's done myself. Somebody else take over here.
I can't really, took me on then.
Right, you sit there. Same as before, but don't fall asleep. Right. Thank you. I'll show you how it's done. Now, watch and learn. Watch and learn.
He's behind you.
Yes. I think we've got the hang of that now. March the men off, Corporal.
You're on the captain. All right. Left, right, left. Off we go.
Here's 5 o'clock news from the BBC, and this is Wilfred Pickles reading. The south and southeast of England have endured heavy air raids throughout the day, but sturdy men from all walks of life are flocking to join the local defence volunteers. Early reports speak of high levels of discipline and training. Hitler won't be dicing with these crack troops. The British Ministry of Information is advising the women of Britain about the danger of injury from fragments of German bombs. They're suggesting that they should get their milliners to fashion hats from thin tin plate. That is the end of the news. We will now return you to a variety show coming from Angier Sweets, somewhere in the south of England. Certainly not in Hesmond-Sue. I wasn't supposed to say that, was I?
And now a treat for all you lads and lasses out there in Radio Land listening to Workers' Playtime. It's the lovely Dolly Blickstone, our force's favourite, singing Lily Marlena.
Underneath the lantern by the barricade, darling, I remember the way you used to wait. 'Tis there that you whispered tenderly that you loved me, you'd always be my lily of the land, light my arm, Lily Marlene. Darling, I caress you and press you to my heart. And then, neath that far-off lantern light, I'd hold you tight. We'd kiss. My lily of Salem, light my own lily darling. Waters came for sailing somewhere over south. Oh, confined to barracks was more than I could bear. I knew you were waiting in the street. I heard your feet, but could not meet. My lily of Salem, light my own lily darling.
Hello, ladies. Did you hear that workers' playtime from Angiers with the BBC? It with all those famous people. It was as if Dolly Blickstone was right here in the room with me. Anyway, that explains why I've had no sugar this week. Must have all gone to Angiers. Well, it's good for morale, I suppose. But you can't stick a toffee in your tea.
No. Well, I heard young Wilfred Pickles on the wireless the other day. He was saying we should get our milliners to fashion us some tin hats. Well, I think, why don't we get Curtis and Shaw to fashion us some tin hats out of these lovely biscuit tins? Look at this one. Very patriotic.
She's not paid for that one either.
Well, I can see it now. Here's the BBC with country wartime fashion from Cowbeech. And here's Millie wearing a lovely little number from Huntley and Palmer's. And well, Dolly, she looks proper fetching in her biscuit tin. Could just imagine one of you in one of those, Ida. You look lovely if you're wearing it with the gas mask.
Here, go for a biscuit tin. Unhygienic.
Quite right. Well, not paid for, I don't think we should be joking. I saw Mary Carter, hairdressers, this morning. And she said yesterday she was shot at by a German fighter plane cycling home to lunch. Probably the one they LDV are looking for. I heard he parachuted out.
Poor Mary. Is she all right?
Well, I don't know whether all right's the word. She's terribly, terribly upset.
Well, I reckon anyone would be upset if they'd been shot at.
I mean, what happened was she saw the plane, she heard the bullets on Cowbeech Hill. Cycled faster and faster, turned down Hammer Lane, going like the clappers, straight down to Waterworks Cottage, head first, oh, into the ditch.
Did she hurt herself?
A little graze on her knee, buckled the front wheel. No. But she's terribly upset.
Well, as I said before, I reckon she would be upset if she'd been shot at.
Yeah, no, well, no lucky escape for her. Because what happened was, it wasn't so much the falling off, it was little Georgie Maskell came over and helped her up. And that was very kind of him, but what upset her was, she went home, he went back to school, she went home, he went off and said it to everyone at school. He'd seen her knickers.
Well, that's not so bad. You know what young boys are like.
No, Rose, you're not understanding, no. What really upset her was that what with the rain and all that, you know, she hadn't been able to get them dry. She'd actually set off without them.
My! If little Georgie had seen that, what an eyeful. It could have put him back for the rest of his life.
Absolutely. Ida, You've been quiet. That's not like you.
Bloody collar.
I had trouble getting my washing done, so you got to leave my bike behind. Don't come here. Oh, we know whether the parishioners gave the vicar a rabbit.
Very
That's
nice.
nice.
Well, certainly, but it'll be 2 weeks rationing, I'm afraid. There we are. There's your margarine. Do you know what? It reminds me of me dad in the First World War. Always had to have his rabbit pie. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Bang, bang, bang. Here's the bonus gun. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't let the fun, it's fun, fun, fun. He'll get bored without his rabbit pie. So run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run.
Go, Elvis, go.
Mine fell off. Right then, time to get those doors opened. We don't want any of these local ruffians kicking them in, do we?
Oh, evening, Rob.
Evening, boys. Oh, dear. What's it to be?
Well, I'm ready for a pint, please, Rob.
Same for me, I'm parched.
You go, boys. What brings you all the way out to Cowbeech?
Oh, cheers, Rob.
I thought your billet was in Earthmonsters.
Well, what it is, we got reports. There's a German airman being shot down in Cowbeech.
I don't think you'll find any of them round here. Oh, no, you will not. There are no Germans in this pub.
We got reports from near Bowden Street, had a look round the White Horse but found nothing. Local said he'd been seen at the Three Cups.
So Mark's done the old 3 cups and had a look round there. Landlord knew nothing about it.
Well, he doesn't know anything about anything, does he?
Finished got drinks and Mark's down the old doom and gloom.
Oh my God, it's going from bad to worse.
I beg to
How very dare you?
The rush ain't really seen anything either, so we finished our drinks and marched down here.
Oh, well, it sounds like you've really done the rounds tonight then, doesn't it?
Yep. And we didn't have to buy a drink all day.
Well, I can tell you one thing. You're going to have plenty of time here for another pint, because there ain't no German airmen around here.
Oh, yes, there are.
Oh, no, there are not.
Oh, yes, there are.
And who asked you anyway?
You did.
Well, boys, what's going to be the next thing on your busy agenda then? Are you going to march on to the Brewers, or are you going to march back to the Woolpack?
Neither. Phoned in HQ and reported in, so they're on their way to come and collect us, but I reckon we got time for one more before we go.
I should think you have.
Yeah, well, like I said, I really don't think there's any German airmen within a mile of here.
No, I don't think so either.
Excellent. Cheeky drink.
Oh, look. Is that a penny on the floor down there? Oh, yeah. Well, I must have been thirsty. Bloody hell, cheers. Can I have another one, please, Rob?
I think so. That one didn't touch the sides, did it?
Cheers, Rob. Oh, dear.
It's behind
Let these people in anyway.
Well, I definitely didn't drink that one.
Oh, yes, you did.
You had my pint?
No, of course I haven't. I've got my own pint.
Oh, well, someone's had it. You had my pint. One of you's had my pint. Who's had my pint?
He did.
Who had it? You had my pint.
Ryan,
Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. Here is the German news in English. The Luftwaffe continues to attack the southeast of England in preparation for invasion. The glorious German army is only 20 miles away, and soon you could come under protection of the Third Reich.
Oh, no, we won't.
There will be no resistance possible, and then there will be no more cricket, or cucumber sandwiches, roast beef or fish and chips. That is not our style.
Here's the 8 o'clock news from the BBC, and this is Wilfred Pickles reading it. In Parliament today, Mr. Churchill addressed the whole House on the subject of the pending German invasion. Here are his very words.
What General Vagon has called the Battle of France is over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization. Upon it depends our own British life and the long continuity of our institutions and our empire. Therefore, brace ourselves to our duties. So bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its Commonwealth last for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour.
And with those stirring words from Mr. Churchill, that is the end of the news for this evening.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Churchill. Thank you. Yes, off you go. Meanwhile, back in Cowbeech, those saucy lad girls, Jean, Jan, and Jen, are heading for an evening of fun at the Merry Harriers with jolly Rob Reed, the landlord. Yes, that's Rob Reed. A party, Rob Reed.
Do that for.
Blimey, it's quiet in here tonight.
Anyway, ladies, what's the favoured girls' drink tonight then, is it? 3 Cointreaux and lemonade?
Sounds good to me, as long as it's a pint.
Oh, it'd be shandies then. Did you hear that Private Measures got bonked on the head by the German parachutist?
They caught him, yes.
No, they have not, and that means you ladies need to be very careful around strange men.
Darling, I'm always careful with strange men. Pint of shandy would be marvellous to start, darling. Hello, big boy. Pretty dangerous of drink.
Now, I want no trouble from you ladies. I cannot have you roughing up my regulars like you did last week.
Saw you 3 along Pantoland today.
Did you? You spying us, you naughty boy.
Yes, we were clearing the land of Clippenham. do you know, and I never saw so many doggy-doos in all my life.
They say there's been some strange foreign voices heard around Clifton Corner. They say there could be spies anywhere.
Do you know, and there were reports of foreign flags being flown, and church farms, and definitely not local flags.
Second joke. Well, have you seen that chap at Cowbeech Farm? The one with the hat and the pointy beard looks just like Guy Fawkes. Probably wants to blow up the Houses of Parliament.
Call me stupid.
Stupid!
Well, there's no smoke without fire.
Bonfire.
Well, anyway, that Lord Hee-Haw must be getting his information from somewhere.
Right, I've had enough of this now. I've listened to this and that is enough. I will not have that talk in my pub. We don't pull together. We're done for. Invasion could be less than a week away.
Yes, Mr. Robbery, I'm sure you're very keen on pulling together.
Oh.
And another
Germany calling! Germany calling! Germany calling! Still calling. This is the German news in English. The Imperial Japanese government has declared war on the USA and Great Britain, and the new Axis will form the most powerful force in the world. The Führer has welcomed the Japanese nation as a powerful ally.
Oh, it's him again.
I don't mind. Here is the 9 o'clock news from the BBC, and this is Wilfred Pickles reading it. A statement from the White House in Washington has confirmed that a state of war exists between the USA and Japan and its allies, following an unprovoked attack on American ships in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Mr. Churchill has welcomed the entry of the USA into the war as a new and most powerful ally. That is the end of the news bulletin, and I return you to today's edition of the Brains Trust.
Oh, hooray!
No, I don't think so.
They're American.
Wilfred.
Oh, here she goes.
Over there, over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, there comes some coming everywhere, so prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware, we'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till we're over there.
Oh, yes, you will.
Maisie, whatever you are, bring that cuppa. We'll celebrate the Yanks coming back to the war.
Coming up, Mrs. Wade. Are you sure about the Americans? Maybe Clark Gable will come.
Well, I
Oh, no,
doubt
he
that.
won't.
But it's definite about the rest of them. You can rely on the BBC. Let's hope they get billeted in Cowbeech. That will put the takings up in the shop.
Everything else too.
My dad doesn't like the Americans. Says they've got too much money and they're always late joining in. Wait for us to do all the dirty work.
Oh, yes, they do.
Well, I for one hope they're going to come because I'm fed up with rationing and growing your own. I'm not very good at it, really.
Dig for flipping victory. My sister entered the Rushlake Green Flower and Veg show, and all she got was a letter from the chairman saying she'd got a very nice pair.
Do you know, perhaps we should start start a vegetable show here in Cowbeech to encourage other people to grow their own.
A show for Dig for Victory.
Oh, what a good
I can't see that last
Your brother was keen on gardening, wasn't he? Have you heard from him lately?
I had a letter from him just the other day. I've got it here, but it's a bit difficult to read. So someone's crossed out bits with a thick blue pencil.
Ah, that's called censoring. That's to stop the enemy getting vital information. Go on, read it out while I sit down and drink my tea.
Okay, here goes. Dear Sis, I hope that you and the folks are keeping well, as I am. Since I arrived at Blue Pencil, I've done loads of marching up and down, and I've been put on gardening duty to keep the Blue Pencil barracks looking spick and span. Came across Lester from Red Tiles. He joined up about a week before me. We've been teamed up on gardening, but I don't think that it's really up his Blue Pencil street. And we're raking it up. Lester left the rake on the ground, and the Blue Pencil warrant officer trod on it. You know, the harder you tread, the faster the rake takes off. Well, the Blue Pencil officer has now got the biggest blue pencil lump on his blue pencil forehead that you've ever blue pencil seen. Well, must close now. Got to get some blue pencil fresh air in my lungs so I can breathe on my buttons before doing guard duty. Love to you, Mum and Dad, your brother Sid. P.S. I thought that I'd get some leave this weekend, but the Blue Pencil warrant officer thought otherwise.
Well, folks, it's been a day for good news. And here's to the Yanks. It's not all over yet by any means, but if they play their part, it could be the beginning of the end.
I'll drink a toast to the Yanks. May they get here soon.
Yanks.
Yes.
Yanks.
Yeah.
It's right turned the heads of our young girls, I can tell you. Young Maisie was desperate to leave the shop early tonight to go to Hailsham to buy an American skirt.
What's so special about an American skirt?
Don't you know? One yank and it's off.
I'll tell you what I think about those Yanks. In cricketing parlance, they're what you call 3-over people.
Oh, you and your cricket chat, Hugh, it's all you ever talk about. Anyway, what the hell do you mean, 3-over people?
Overpaid, oversexed, and now over here.
Cricket, cricket, cricket. I expect you've got some other cricketing treat lined up for us for the village talent show, haven't you, Hugh?
As it happens, I have.
God, I'm sure it's spoken.
I believe we are going to defeat those Nazis because we play cricket and they don't. It's all about team spirit. Now, are you all sitting or standing comfortably?
Yep.
Yeah. Dear ladies, thank you. And now is the last wicket, you fellows. Our backs are right up against the wall, and we are facing some very fast bowling. But this wicket's not going to fall. We've got all our pads and our gloves on, and there's one thing that can't be denied. We'll crack every ball through the covers if we play up for the side. For 1,000 years, chaps, our fine teamwork has got the applause from the stands. No invader has passed our defences. No umpire has lifted his hand. They can close in from every direction. They can mock, they can sneer, they can deride. But we'll knock them for 6 without question if we play up for the side. Yes, we used to have Hammond and Sutcliffe. Australia fought us in peace. But now, all the Empire is fighting, and Churchill is there at the crease. So open your shoulders, you fellows. Let's take what's coming in our stride. For we'll win. They can't take his wicket if we play up for the side.
England, oh, there's a country lane, wherever there's a cottage school beside a field of grain, there'll always be an England. Oh, there's a village street, wherever free. If England means as much to you as England means to me. And again, everybody! There'll always be an England, and England shall be free. If England means as much to you as England means to me.
Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. There are rumours that a few small boats are being assembled on the south coast of Kent to launch an Allied invasion force. The glorious German armed forces would like to tell you that they are ready and waiting. The new empire of the Reich is armed to the teeth and ready with a savage bite.
How's your head, Rich? Want to watch out for them old German airmen, I tell you.
Yeah, maybe you'll get to see him next time.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing, to be honest. Anyway, we got time for a quick pint.
A bit short of the old cash at the moment.
Oh. How about a little bet then? I'll tell you what, I'll give you a chance. Loser buys the drinks.
Okay, you're on.
I bet you I can prove that you're not here.
Of course I'm here. You saw me arrive.
We'll see. Now, you're not in Halsham, are you?
No, not in Halsham.
And you're not in Heathfield either, are you?
No, I'm definitely not in Heathfield.
And you're not in Rushlake Green?
No, I'm certainly not in Rushlake Green.
Well, if you're in none of those places, you must be somewhere else.
Well, that's right. It must be somewhere else.
Well, if you're somewhere else, you can't be here then, can you? Right, I win, you buy the drinks.
Still got no money.
Well, yeah, I'm a bit short of cash, like I said.
Oh, great.
Hello,
Come on, lads, these rounds on us. Never mind, Jean's just fell in love with you, I hate.
Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. In the early hours of this morning, the 6th of June, German forces guarding the northern coast of France were called upon to repel an assault by the Allied combined forces and have inflicted heavy casualties. Some airborne troops have landed near Caen, but I can assure you that they will soon be surrounded by German troops in the area, and they will be exterminated!
We like him better.
Good evening. Here's the news from the BBC, and this is Wilfred Pickles reading it. This morning, the Allied forces launched an attack on the beaches of northern France. They have established bridgeheads and now begin the task of lifting the reign of Nazi tyranny that has blighted almost the whole of Europe. It is reported that the troops who landed near Caen have already advanced several miles inland and have swapped their pints for a glass of wine at a cafe near the Pegasus Bridge over the Caen Canal.
Oh dear. Night now, love. Good night, love.
Maisie, bring us a cuppa before the midday rush.
I think that rush could be a bit hopeful. But a cup of tea's always good. A piece of chocolate would be nice too.
What a lovely idea. But there's no chocolate till you've practised your sums, my girl. Come along now. Now, this won't be difficult. I have here in my hand 2 bars of chocolate. And I'm going to place one in this pocket. And I'm going to place one in that one, all right? Now, I'm going to take one away. How many bars of chocolate have you got now?
2.
No, you silly girl, you're not listening. Start again. Give me back that chocolate.
I knew there'd be a catch.
Now listen very carefully. I shall say this only once. I have 2 bars of chocolate, and I'm going to place one in this pocket, and I'm going to place one in the other pocket. All right? With me so far? Now I'm going to take 1 bar away. How many bars have you got now?
2.
No, 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 you silly girl. How can that be possible?
I already had a bar in this pocket.
And the other one? Okay. I bet your brother.
Which one?
Very nice chocolate. I bet your brother, bravely fighting on the front line for his hidden country, I bet he hasn't got any chocolate. Have you heard from him lately?
No.
Delicious.
Not for a while. Mum's worried, but I told her at least we haven't had any bad news, and bad news travels fast.
Well, that's true. I wonder how much longer the war can go on now. Paris has been liberated and the Nazis are in retreat.
Surely it can't be long now. Seems to me like we've always been at war.
Ah, well, that's because you're young and you've had war ever since you left school. Still, when it's over, there'll be time to celebrate and start afresh. Oh, better watch out. Here comes the advance party. And hello, my dear. How are you doing?
Good, I'm good, thank you. There's a rumour from the army camp. They say old Nasty's dead. Committed suicide.
Quick, Maisie, warm up the wireless. Let's find out what's happening.
We interrupt programmes with a special announcement. German radio has confirmed that Adolf Hitler has committed suicide in his bunker in Berlin. British, American and Russian forces have joined up in Berlin and vast numbers of enemy troops are surrendering. Mr. Churchill will broadcast to the nation at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. Here is the English news in German. No, damn, that's not right. Here is the German news in English. Now, I'm going to say, in this most serious time of our modern age, I beg you to believe that the battle is still on. Germany will live because the people of Germany have in them the secret of life. Endurance, will, patience, and a bumper selection of frankfurters. Therefore, I say to you in these last words, you may not hear from me for a few months. I say, long live Deutschland!
Well, Av, the war is over. I can't believe it. Don't know whether to laugh or cry. If you listen to what that Lord Hero had to say, they sound an awful lot like us.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Well, if it's on the BBC, it must be true. I'm going to go back to the school, get all the kids round the wireless for 3 o'clock for the speech. For many of them, the war's been their whole life. They don't know anything different. It's going to take a bit of getting used to. Young Georgie Maskell, he's been collecting shell cases, shrapnel. He's going to have to find something else to occupy himself now instead of, you know, ogling ladies' knickers or their whatevers.
It has been announced that to mark the cessation of war, Tuesday the 5th of May will be known as Victory in Europe Day and has been declared a public holiday. We now take you over to the Houses of Parliament for a statement by the Prime Minister, Mr. Winston Spencer Churchill.
Never before. Yesterday morning at 2:41 AM, at General Eisenhower's headquarters, the representatives of the German High Command and the designated head of German state signed the act of unconditional surrender of all German land, sea and air forces. God save the King!
God save the King! Well, my friends, time to celebrate has come at last. And I'm thinking about what we can do to celebrate. What do you think we can do to celebrate?
Free beer.
You be quiet, I'm telling you what we're going to do to celebrate. We're going to form a committee. People round here like that. We're going to have the biggest party that Cowbeech has ever seen. And my friends, we must never lose our wartime spirit. Every year, we'll meet again at a grand fete as Cowbeech digs for victory.
We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So won't you please say hello to the folks that I know, tell them I won't be long, so they'll be happy to know that when we slowly go, I'm singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Whoa! What about the German airman?
No one sees night nor hair of him. It's a complete mystery.
Drinks and snacks are now available in the
If you think I'm on the run, we are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think of England's done. You think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think we're on the run. We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think of England's done.
Thank you all so much for coming. If you enjoyed the show, do tell your friends. And if you didn't, oh, shame on you. How could you not have enjoyed it? See you all again in 2012.